Hi guys, how's everybody doing? It's Colleen with Chalk Couture. Sorry, I lost my voice there for a half a second. Whew, how's everybody doing on this fine Monday evening? Hope you all had a good day. We're coming in with this cutie little patootie here. This is our spine chingling. I was going to say, that's not even a word. Spine chilling is actually the word I was looking for. It's from our... it's actually, that's what it's called, the transfer, spine chilling. Oh my gosh, how did I not know that? Spine chilling is the transfer. So, we're going to do it on this board, and you may notice that my setup is a little funky because the surface that I'm going to do this on is such an odd shape, but it just spoke to me for this transfer. I think it's going to be really cute on here. So we're going to hopefully dive right in just a minute. So let's go ahead and get this going. And if you come in, say hello. If you are watching on the replay, hello. And I appreciate you. Okay, there we go. All right, so hi, Lisa. So let's go ahead and get started. This actually is, it's not one of our surfaces. It's actually, believe it or not, you can see it's a board that I got a couple years ago, honestly, probably maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. And you can see on the back, it was painted red. I actually didn't do the tips there, but the red didn't go with anything in my house at all. And it kind of limited me to use this surface kind of at Christmas or Valentine's. It was a little too red for me, so I just went in and I painted it, to be honest with you. Just white paint. I did 2 coats of white paint on it, just to kind of make it match what I have going on. So like I said, it's really long, so I'm really hanging off the edge of my desk here. So I'm going to do my best so that you guys can see the whole project. Hopefully down the end might be a little bit tricky, but we'll see what we can do. I might have to adjust the camera a little bit, but isn't he adorable? Look at this. It's like you gotta kind of go back to your anatomy class to look to see. Or in my case, what I did, I just actually went to my catalog and I took a sneak peek because I had no idea how this transfer worked. But if you look at the picture on here, you can clearly see the couple different ways they have the little skeleton sitting in this one and then standing in this one. So because it's a long board, I'm going to go with the standing. So if ever you're concerned, just go back to your catalog or look on the online catalog, and then you have your reference material there. So I'm trying to do it so that his head's going to be here, and then I can fit spine chilling kind of across the top. I'm hoping. I probably should have measured this out a little bit better. Because I need to get his feet in here. I think I should be able to still get his feet in here if I move him down just a little bit. We can do spine chilling up there. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to just start with this rib cage. So I kind of feel like I've left enough space. You've got the bones here, and what I did was I labeled it bone 1 and bone 2, so you know, like, that's the bones for his arms and then his legs. So I think if we keep them straight and maybe even bend one or something, we can get both of these in here. So that's kind of my hope. So let's kind of just start in the center. And what we'll do is, now that the pieces are kind of mostly all cut up, I'm going to just go ahead and fuzz the transfer. We have it labeled on the back that that's the rib cage transfer, so I know to return that to this carrier sheet when we're done. So let's put that over there. We're just going to fuzz this because we don't want it to stick quite so hard to its surface because they're sticky transfers, right? So let's go ahead and get that fuzzed. We're good. And now, I'll just get rid of some of my dust on here. Okay, now we should be able to kind of center his rib cage here in the middle. And we're going to start there and work our way up and down. Okay, so just checking to make sure there's no bubbles in my silkscreen area, and even if you hold it at an angle, you'll be able to see if there's a bubble in there. If there is a bubble, all you need to do is kind of peel back and then kind of smooth it out with your hand again to get rid of any bubbles that may be in there. Another option is to take your squeegee, and that can kind of help get out the bubbles too. You can just use the top or the side, whichever's easier, to just get that on there with a nice tight seal, and then check to make sure again that you don't have any bubbles, and then you're good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and load up my squeegee with some chalk paste, and we're going to just cover the silk screen area. Now off to the side, I always have my trusty pan of water so that I can just chalk and then throw the transfers right into the pan of water, and have them sit in the water to kind of start cleaning. It's like a self-cleaning water pan, if you will. And then I'll show you at the end how we clean our transfers. So remember, no worries if you put too much on here. You can always, whoops, I just put my nail right in it. You can always go back and take the excess off, and that can go right back into your jar. Now I've got it under my nail, but that's okay. I'm just applying a little bit of pressure with my squeegee just to get that excess off. And you've got a nice thin layer on there now, and that's perfect. That's exactly how we want it. Now when you pull back your transfer, you're going to pull top to bottom or left to right. So I'm just going to pull straight down. Voila, there's his rib cage. So this transfer is going to go into the pan of water, as I mentioned, that's off to the side. I'm just going to push it down to the bottom of the pan, and that will start to get the chalk paste out of that silk screen area. For the purposes of being live, I'm going to go ahead and speed the process of the drying up. The drying typically only takes about 4 minutes on its own, but because we're live, I'm just going to kind of help speed that up a little bit. Alrighty, we just want to make sure that the chalkboard is back to room temperature, okay? And now we can go ahead and put his head on here. Let's go this way. We'll go top, and then we'll come back down again. So for each piece, you need to make sure that you are labeling your transfer. We have skull on there, and then fuzzing it, okay? So that's just a quick prep that you need to do. 1, 2, 3, okay? Now we're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and put his skull on here. Okay. And what I do, if you can see how through the silk screen, can you see the white from his vertebrae right there? So I'm just gonna take it to the top of that. So once I stop seeing the white through the silk screen and I just kind of go up, I know I'm at the top. So we're just gonna go just an inch above that, and we're gonna do his skull. Okay, again, we're just gonna load up our chalk paste. Make sure there's no bubbles in your silk screen, because this is a little bit of a larger silk screen. Lift it at that angle if you just want to make sure, just to be extra sure that there's no bubbles in there. And then just simply pull the chalk paste right down. See how it does that nice coverage there? Pretty easy. Get a little bit more. Now what I'm noticing is that my chalk paste seems to be a little bit dry, so what I may do is come in and just add a little smidge of water to that. There we go. That nice thin layer on there, and that's all you need. Okay. I'm gonna peel back. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. I may have needed to go just a smidge up with this skull a little bit. I probably should have went just a tiny bit higher, because he is kind of right on his vertebrae there. That's okay. All right, we're gonna work our way down. I don't need to worry about that being completely dry, because now we're gonna come down to this part. Okay, repeat the process again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now when I'm putting these into the pan, I'm pushing down the one that was ahead of it, just so that it's completely submerged in water, and that way they won't stick to each other, the transfers. And once you put it in the water, it actually will lose its stickiness, and it will return once you clean the transfer, and I'll show you guys how to do that as we move along. Okay, same process. We're doing this guy all in white, making it pretty simple. But he's like your kid-friendly little skeleton, I think. He's cute. All right, and we're moving right along. There we go. Darn it, I wish I had moved his head up. Now, what I could just wash that off and move it up a little bit. I may decide to do that afterward, but we'll see. For right now, we're just going to keep going. Now, for the bones for his arms and his legs, I'm going to use this. I'm going to try to do 4 passes with this. I'm going to try to go boom, 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 like that. So when you're doing that, and again, I apologize, we're going to probably get cut off a little bit down here at the bottom, but hopefully you'll be able to see most of his legs. So this is bone number 1. So we're just going to kind of get it close to here, but not right on it. It doesn't need to be right on it. Okay, let's just say that looks good. Okay, and then when you're going to try to get multiple passes through this transfer without washing, you really want to make sure you do have a nice light layer on there, okay? And that you're only going to be able to do so much before you're going to have to clean the transfer, because, oh, I did not fuzz that well, and I just picked up a piece of his collarbone. Darn it. See how it came out on the back? It's okay, we'll fix it. We'll just move along for now, and then I'll come back and fix that. Let's get this one on here. Yeah, I did not, I guess I didn't fuzz it enough, or I pushed down too hard with my squeegee because I was really trying to get a nice light seal. So you see how I'm holding it up from hitting that one there? Okay, just so I don't do that again on this side. And then we're going to move down to the bottom, and we're going to do the first part of his legs. There's one. And hopefully we should be able to get 4 passes out of here. And then we'll go on to the one that's labeled bone 2, and then just connect them all. Okay, so nice thin layer. Again, I was trying not to push down too hard where where his hip is, because like how I just took out his collarbone by accident. Okay, there we go. So see how I'm not placing that down all the way? Again, I'm checking to make sure that there's no bubbles. And then we'll get this last one out of here. Should be good. It's still coming through pretty crisp, so I wouldn't recommend doing it more than 4, because then it's going to really start to fade, because your silk screen is going to start to get clogged. So now that we've got the 4 bones out of there, we can continue on. Let's dry these real quick. And what I'll have to do to fix this here, I will just have to lay the rib cage back down again and chalk right there to fix that. So let's get the first bones taken care of, get them nice and dry. And now we can go on with the second bone. And see how it kind of like looks like it's going to meet right there. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get this guy buzzed. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, repeat process 4 more times. So let's get this on here. I think I'm just going to have putting his hands down at his side, I think will work. So let's try that. Did I do that right, or did I do the wrong bone? No, I think I did that right. This is number 2, so it should be good. Okay. Again, we're going to go with a nice light layer, so we can try to get 4 of these again. 1. Now, this one, I'm going to flip it. Did you see how I did that? Because I want the bigger bone, so it's going to be like a joint. So I just kind of flipped it. There we go. I wonder if I should make him touch his hip. Let's do that. Let's make him touch his hip. Just so it doesn't look like he's a robot. I'm going to just turn it inward a little bit. Again, I'm trying to be careful not to hit the hip here where I don't want to accidentally pull that up. See how I just pulled it up again? Because I pushed down too hard. Yep. All right. Well, we're going to keep going. Might have to do a little touching up. And it could be, well, no, that shouldn't be it. I'm just thinking in my head, is it because I didn't wax the board? Because I usually do wax boards that are not Chalk Couture. But I don't think that was it. It's because it's laying on top of the other piece and I think it's just sticky. So should I have his leg go in or should I have it kick out? Good question. I guess I'm just gonna have him be straight. Have his leg straight. Sorry, I know it's cut off a little bit down here. I'm getting towards the bottom of the project and I might have to readjust my camera. Okay, let's just get that last bone done. There we go. Now we've got him. Just gonna turn it so you guys can see him. So we've got all his legs and bones and everything together. And now we're gonna put this piece in the water pan. And I just want to get all these pieces pushed down so that they don't stick to each other. Okay. Here we go. Not too bad. Looks pretty good. Just a couple little boo-boos, but nothing majorly catastrophic. Okay. Now we got to get in here and we got to do his little feet and his little hands. So I just want to give this chalk paste another quick stir because it's been sitting open now for a little bit. Okay, there we go. And we're going to have that at the top. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit the Beware. So let's move that off. But let's do his hand. So we'll do... I'm going to do the one hand right here. Just being careful again not to have it touch so it doesn't pull up. Okay. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did that right. I just had to think for a minute. Which way, if I'm facing this way, does the thumb? Had a brain fart there for a minute. Okay, now we need to get the other hand. I'm a little concerned about, now that I just did this, about putting this hand over top. Let me just cut this piece out because we've got to do his feet too. So let's get his hand and his feet cut out. Okay. I'm pretty sure that this is not going to be able to be seen very well because it's going to be white on white. But we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure it's not going to come out very well. I didn't think that one through entirely well. Let's see what happens. Let's give it a quick buzz. 1, 2, 3. Do one more. I want to really make sure I'm buzzing it really good. Okay, because I don't think this is gonna work, but let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm just kind of going lightly. Now this time, because I'm on top of, I'm just gonna go very lightly with the chalk paste. I'm not gonna try to worry about all that excess. Let's see what happens. Oh, you can kind of see it. It's a little difficult to see. It probably, in hindsight, is not really on his hip, and it probably looks a little perverted. So we may have to redo that. Let's continue with his feet though. Alright, so we need his little feet down here and then we'll be good. I think I'm going to have to fix this. That's not going to look very nice. Let's get that. He looks like Michael Jackson. Maybe we'll just go with that. It's the spirit skeleton of Michael Jackson. Let's go with that. I think that's what we're... Now I'm just talking to myself. All right, 1 foot on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's get his feet and then we're done. We just need to add the spine chilling. There's 1. There's 2. Okay, sorry. I know the feet are at the bottom and you can't see it right now, but I promise you his little feet are on there and we're all good. I'll hold it up in 1 second. That's what happens when you got such a long board. So yeah, he's the spirit of Michael Jackson with the hand on the hip. Let's get the spine chilling across the top and then we're done. And we'll just come back and fix that. Okay, one more time with the fuzzing. Fuzz our spine chilling. I keep wanting to say spine tingling. I don't know why. And I think I'm going to put this kind of on. Whoops, that wasn't far enough. Let's bring that in a little bit. I'm going to just kind of make it like that. Okay, one more piece. And we're just going to cover the words. Don't worry about the teal section. Getting all that excess back off and bringing that down to finish up down here. There we go. Easy peasy. Excess is back off. And any excess that's on my squeegee's starting to get a little dried out with all the chalk I've used. Let's throw that in the pan of water as well. Oh, I did it again. I almost missed the very tip, so I'm just grabbing a small squeegee. Just want to get the very edge of that E there. And now we can peel back. Just remember, just pull left to right or top to bottom. And there we have it, our little spine chilling. I almost did it again, spine chilling. It's been a long Monday, guys. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our chalk paste covered. Put the lid back on that, get all the chalk paste back around the edges, back down into the jar. Close that up. And then let's make some room over here so I can put my chalk paste in. And now we've got our, he looks like Michael Jackson because I tried to do the hand on the hip. And so now we're going to refer to him as the Michael Jackson skeleton. Just waiting for that to catch up. So you see his feet are on there. Hello, Janine, how are you? So his little feet are down here, his little hand on the hip, and he's our spine chilling little skeleton guy, little Michael Jackson. So let's bring the pan of water that I was mentioning that I have been throwing all the transfers in and throwing all my tools in there, my stirry sticks and my squeegees, so that we can show you how to go ahead and clean your transfers. Grab a towel. So we have a towel right next to it. How are you, Jamie? Hope you're having a great Monday. I'm just going to slide this. You know what? I'm going to actually lift this up and out of the way so it doesn't get wet. Okay, now we can put our towel down here. Okay. Now, I don't have a board eraser in here, so I am going to do it the old school way and just use my hands. Because I forgot to grab a board eraser. So we're just going to use our hands to clean our tools, our squeegees. Get those out of the way first. And now we've got the bones in here. See how the water started to kind of get some of the chalk paste off? It didn't really on this one as well because we went over this one 4 times because we had to do 4 bones. So there we go. And then we're just going to set that down onto our towel with the sticky side up. Okay, and no worries that I still have some chalk paste on here. Once we use our disinfectant wipe, and you see where it pulled up his collarbone there on the back. But like I said, once we get to the disinfectant wipe stage and cleaning it, no worries, we're going to get all of that chalk off. So there's this one little hand. This other little hand. There we go. I'm getting water everywhere. Thank God it's water and nothing else, because it's going everywhere, guys. There's this other foot. Make some room up here. I've got this one squeegee that's really got a lot of chalk on it, so let's get that cleaned off. Okay. Now we've got a couple big pieces. Hopefully I'm gonna have enough room to put this on the towel. Yeah, the skull was easy because he was in there first. Cute skeleton. I'm gonna have to get the. Oh, he's a cutie, isn't he? Yeah, I have fun making them. It's like trying to remember basic anatomy again. Or like I said in the beginning, just look at the catalog if you need a reference point on how to get all the bones right. Yeah, that really helped me a lot. I've actually got it sitting on the floor next to me because I was referencing it. Okay, I think, oh no, we've got a couple more. This is his rib cage, which I need to definitely clean and fix up that little boo-boo. Okay, let's get that down. I'm running out of room on my towel. Let me slide this over a little bit. I'm gonna bring this out so I give myself a little bit more room. There we go. And now we've got the last piece. Okay, we've got everything now on our towel. I think everything's out of there. Yep. Just dry my hands on that. Now, for the final step. I like how with this skeleton too, let me just bring in the catalog that I said I have sitting here on the floor, how you can just manipulate the bones to make him either sitting or standing. I think that's adorable. There's so many things you can make him wave high. You can try to make him look a little spookier. Yeah, it's awesome. Love that mixing and matching to create different little things. So I'm going to grab just a paper towel and get some of this excess water from the back of the transfers off before I use my disinfectant wipe. Okay, just getting rid of some of that excess. There we go. We got the back of that cleaned off. And then we'll get our tools out of here. And then the final step is going to be that disinfectant wipe that I was talking about. And then cleaning my walls because I got water all over my walls. So then the disinfectant wipe will help to clean out all of the silkscreen area. And it's also going to help to get the any of the fuzzing. So any of the lint from your fuzzing cloth or from your shirt, whatever you were using, it's going to help to get that back off. So I flip it back to the side that I chalked on and then get all of that excess chalk that I may have missed. And then the last step is to flip it back to the side that is sticky, which it's not sticky right now, but I promise you it will be by the time it dries. Okay, and this one you may notice, when it does this, see how it's curling? It's because it's stuck too hard to the surface. And that may be because I didn't fuzz it well enough, or because I was really aggressively, I think, showing with this piece how to make sure that there's no bubbles, and so I was pressing down on it really, really hard on the surface, and that's what kind of made it do that. I don't know where the orange came from. There must have been some orange left on the back of this, or maybe from my bucket. That's probably what it was. There might have been a little piece of orange still at the bottom of the bucket. I just picked it up. I was like, where the heck, why do I have orange on my wet wipe? Okay. You're almost done. This is all there is to it. It's pretty easy. Like I said, I definitely recommend to keep that bucket right near you, whatever you have. If you have a cookie sheet, a bucket, a pan, something, and just get the transfers in there right away. And then this way, it does a lot of the cleaning for you, because I find that if you wait too long to get the transfer into the water, or in this case where you use the transfer 4 times, it's just a little harder to clean. It's not that it won't get clean, it's just a little harder. So I think that getting it right into the water really helps that process. And it's okay if some of the chalk stuff residue is left on the teal section. Not a problem. Just as long as the silkscreen area is nice and clean, and you'll get that by doing this step, then you are good to go. I think we just have the one hand left. Oh, and maybe the skull. Okay. There we go. And I think we have to do the skull. Yeah, I didn't do the skull yet. Now we can just mix and match all of the backer sheets right back onto it. We are good. These would make super cute little trick-or-treat bags. I think to, like, if you have ink, to ink the little skeleton on your trick-or-treat bag, that would be super cute. Alright, let's get all of our, we're going to play the matching game now. So let's get we've got our hand number 1, And we wrote on the front here 1, so I knew that that was the hand. And then we're just going to put that back on. Remember, you want to make sure that you're putting the transfer back on the shiny side, not the side that you wrote on, okay? And that way, oh, I forgot to label this one. I forgot to label the feet, but that's okay. I can tell which one's shiny. So it's not the end of the world. I didn't label that one either. Let's do the other hand and then we'll come back to that. You can tell if you hold it up to the light which side is shiny and what side is paper. You just don't want to accidentally put it on, this is bone 2. That's bone 2. You don't want to accidentally put it on the paper side of the carrier sheet because then it won't, you have a hard time getting it off. Okay, I've got that bone. Just make sure it's on there nice and flat. And you saw how the bone was curling too? Once you get it back onto the carrier sheet, it will flatten back out. So no worries if that happens. It should be bone 2. And there we have it. So I won't bore you with the whole rest of me putting all these transfers back on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the live, and I'm probably going to just touch up this rib cage real quick where it kind of peeled off a little bit. Oops, now everything's sticking to everything. Told you it got sticky again. I'm going to just keep the rib cage out and update that where I just had that little bit of a boo-boo. But let's bring it back in here one more time, guys, and I'll show you, and then I'll fix it. I'll take a finished picture so you can see where I just touch up. All that I'm going to do is just lay this transfer back down. Once I'm going to have to fuzz it again. I'll lay it back down right over top of the rib cage. I don't want to do it because it's still wet. And then just do that one little section right there where his collarbone got a little bit messed up. So that's all you really have to do, and you'll be able to see through where you can see how it'll match right back up, okay? Hope that's coming through. All right, easy peasy to fix any mistakes. So I will let you go. I will finish cleaning up. I'm gonna touch up the rib cage, and then I'll post a finished picture of it in the comments below. So thank you so much. I think he's really cute and adorable, and I have fun creating him. And I thank you so much for hanging in there with me today and watching tonight's project. This week's theme is going to be Halloween. I do have a bunch of really cute Halloween goodies to work on this week, so I hope to see you tomorrow night. Have a fantastic rest of your night. I will see you later. Bye.